time for Dave 101.
Earlier today, I was listening to one of my favorite Sasquatch podcasts called Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob, who you heard on the show a couple nights ago, and his big furry friend named Tex. Go figure, Tex is from Texas. But he's got a fantastic beard and wears a magnificent cowboy hat and looks just really, really badass. They were talking to Ronald Moorhead about the Sierra Sounds and the fact that there is so much woo starting to go around the Sasquatch world that it is one of those topics that really now needs to be addressed. Now, you have heard me over time talk about Sasquatch and talk about all of the plight and damages we do to the researchers in this field because they believe something different. All right? There's a crew out there who believes they're conducting science when realistically they just don't want to play in the woo. There's the people who call it the monkey, the great ape, the Gigantopithecus, and the great North American animal as well. Look, there are many different opinions of what we're looking for. But the big thing is, what do you do if you decide that you want to go out into your local forest and look for the legend? See, I've asked this question many times myself. Dave, what do you do? Well, I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I know a lot of people who know a hell of a lot more than I do. And I'll be honest, I piggyback off their words. But here's the one thing that we forget. Think about this. We forget about safety. Safety, yeah. Do you know the animals in your woods? Do you know which animals can harm you and which ones won't? Do you know how to react if you come across a bear or a mountain lion? What do you do? This isn't the city, folks. You just don't go here, kitty, kitty. No, you don't. Before you even start looking for Sasquatch, learn your area, learn your route. Always let someone know where you are going. If you don't have a family, if you don't have friends, or your friends are going with you, who do you tell? Call your local police up and say, look, I know this sounds stupid, but I am going out with my buddy or myself or whomever you're with, and we are going to look for Sasquatch in this area. We are going to be gone from this time to this time, and we would appreciate it if we don't call back and check in if you kind of come looking for us, because Sasquatch may have killed us or harmed us or hurt our feelings, and now we're in a safe spot in the forest. That's number one. They'll laugh at you. Sure they will, but it's in good humor. You just take it. And then you check back in. They say thank you. It is a great safety net. First and foremost, let somebody know where you're going. Number two, pack for safety. Make sure you have a first aid kit. Make sure you have a flashlight with new batteries and extras. Because if you get into the world of the woo, you know something's going to dim that flashlight pretty darn quick. Number three, bring an extra change of clothes. What happens if you slip, rip, or chip anything on your clothing? And while you're talking about dressing up and getting ready to go look for the Sasquatch, you don't need all full army fatigues to go out in the forest. You don't. Sure, it looks cool. Sure, you blend in with nature. But you know what? You can do it in a pair of jeans. You can do it in comfy sweatpants, a hoodie, whatever. But make sure that you have enough to stay warm. Because if you get stuck out there and you got to sleep in your vehicle still gets cold. And you're going to want something warm. Shoes. What kind of shoes are you wearing to go out in the forest? Me personally, normally I wear steel-toed boots or hiking shoes. One of the two. Don't go wearing your flip-flops. Don't go wearing your Skechers slip-ons or your best pair of Nikes. All right? Or if you're over the age of 55, your New Balance runners, sneakers in America, that are bright white that you're going to be offended that you got them dirty. Wear proper shoe attire. This is for your safety. One with a thicker sole, just in case there's something sharp sticking out of the ground. Make sure you are prepared for your footwear. Always bring an extra pair of socks. Why? Because in case your feet get wet, you change them. The first way to get cold in nature is to get your feet wet. When your feet are soaked and your feet are wet, that's a sign of a problem. Bring socks. It's true. Moving on. Bring gloves. I don't care if it's the dead of summer. In the forest, it gets cold at night. The temperatures are different than in the city. Make sure you're prepared. Now, what do you bring with you for gear? Bring a recorder with you. So that way, if something roars at night, you can record it. Your phone works for that. It does. What else do you bring for gear? Binoculars. Why? Because maybe you want a close-up of what that tree is or that giant stump is, or why is that tree shaking? And you use your binoculars and you see that it's a pack of wild horses and not Sasquatch or a bear scratching its back. Bring sunglasses, something that can protect your eyes. Bring a chainsaw with you, because you never know in nature when a tree is going to fall. But most importantly, bring a GPS. Always have a GPS with you. Know your coordinates. Learn where you are. And if you can't afford a GPS, go down to your local pawn shop and pick up a compass. Learn where the sun is. Okay? Most people, you wouldn't believe how many people out there actually do not know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. It's real easy to tell northwest, east, and south if you're out there late and to the left of you, the sun is going down. By goodness, if you put money on that in Vegas, that you were looking west, you would win. All right? Learn how to use a chainsaw. If you're in an area where you are allowed guns, pack a gun with you if you feel safe. Now, up here in Canada, we can't carry handguns publicly. No, we're not mature enough for that. But a gun does help if you feel unsafe. Now, many Sasquatch hunters do not use guns, do not bring guns, because they feel that Sasquatch can smell gunpowder. Yeah. I can tell you right now, when I go out and look, I'm not armed. But then again, I can also tell you, if I had my firearms license, I'm not sure if I would go in unarmed. Because we don't know what animals are going to come out. Bring a phone with you. Because even if you get no signal, zero signal, 911 always picks up. For the most part. It will always give you enough signal to get to 911. In most areas. Remember that. That's kind of an important one. And by golly, bring water with you. Bring water. Because you will get thirsty and you may get dehydrated. And of course, once again, if you get stuck out there, at least you have something to drink. Water is always good. The other thing you want to do is bring bug spray. I don't know about where you guys live, but I can tell you up here where I live in the Cariboo of British Columbia, we have 2 seasons. We have winter and we have bug season. Bug season is hell around here. The mosquitoes, very attracted to old Dave. Make sure you have bug spray or some kind of bug deterrent. And you know what? Doesn't matter how hot it is, you will wear long sleeves. Wear a baseball cap or some sort of hat on your head. Why? Well, number one, if you want to put mesh over your face so the bugs don't land on you, a hat will hold it down. Number two, if it's warm, it'll keep the sun out of your eyes. Number three, ticks. Yes, ticks. Ticks like to find their way from higher elevations like trees and then jump into your hair. And when a tick hits you, you could get Lyme disease. Protect your skin. It's true. It's very true. Now, when looking for Sasquatch, take the 10 minutes that you will need to watch a number of YouTube videos on what you need to cast a footprint. Okay, go down to your local hardware store, costs about $30 for all the gear, and get yourself some molding casts. If it's wet out, like the track is in fresh mud or fresh snow, grab a can of hairspray, because hairspray will actually keep the moisture out. You can then pour your casting in and get your cast without any deviations due to the wet mud or snow. Bet you didn't know that. All right, keep a tape measure with you so that way you can measure things. Bring a notepad so that way you can write things down. Make sure you have a pen or pencil that works. And if you carry pencils, bring the old pencil sharpener. Look, there are many ways that we can do this to go out and have fun in a safe, effective way looking for Sasquatch. And trust me, I say go for it. You don't have to be a well-named researcher. You don't have to be a well-versed outdoors person. But before you do, make sure you're going to be safe. Make sure you know how to take care of yourself in a worst-case scenario, because you never know when that worst-case scenario is. And when you're in the wild forest, I'm not talking the little park in the back of your house. I'm saying when you are in the wild forest, you never know what you're going to run into and what's going to happen. So always think safety first. Now go on out there once the snow melts and go find your Sasquatch. It'll be a lot of fun. Let me know what you think by commenting down below on our YouTube channel. And we say that's it for Dave 101 this week.